Okay, Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney. What is my thoughts on their whole back and forth with Undisputed and Email Champion? Okay, as far as the situation go between these two guys, I think this is the best way to look at it. First of all, I respect and like both of these guys. They have a matching mentality. That is a mentality that needs to be cast amongst at least the new generations of fighters. We can't hope for the older ones, but at least they're setting the standard and setting the bar. Two things I love about both these guys. You know what I'm saying? I really like that a lot. People sending me videos of Bill Haney and Devin Haney, you know, saying what they feel about Undisputed, stuff like that. I've already said that the fight was not going to be for Undisputed. I said Vasily Lomachenko has fucked himself and Teofimo Lopez out of that privilege by accepting franchise champion and giving up his belt. Okay, I've already said that. So truthfully, it's not for Undisputed. You know, let's just be real. Okay. Now, as far as the claims of Devin Haney, talk about he has a fake belt and he's not really undisputed. If I was Devin Haney, I would tread lightly, or maybe they're not. Meaning it's one-sided to think that way. He really doesn't have room to say so. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because it is neither Lopez's fault or Devin Haney's fault that Lomachenko decided to do what he did. But this is the thing. Teofimo Lopez is more of a legitimate undisputed champion than Devin Haney is a full champion. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Okay. If Devin Haney is talking about, well, you know, it's not real. You're not a real champ. You got to come see me. You got to come see that. He has to understand that off the same technicality, the reason why he should maybe somewhat respect what Teofimo Lopez got going on, because the same thing applies to him. He has to understand that he didn't win that belt in the ring. He didn't beat the man to become the man. And I made a video before saying I don't want Haney to take that belt. I don't, but you can't stop people from doing what they want to do. Plus it's more money and whatever and whatnot. Not knocking it. But I never wanted him to take that belt. So truthfully, if Teofimo Lopez is an unlegitimate, undisputed champion, then Devin Haney rightfully is not really a full champion. Because you didn't beat the man to become the man. The reason why Lopez would be more, why he's more solidified in what he claims, is because he actually beat the dude who held the belt that they gave to you. Okay? So by right, he is more of what he claimed he is as undisputed than Devin Haney actually being a full champion. Meaning, it looks weird for Devin Haney to knock him for his claim and then not expect the same thing back when truthfully they're in the same damn situation. But Haney wants people to respect him as the full champion. But you have to understand, you did not win that belt. You were given that belt. Keep in mind, not Haney's fault. The only thing he's trying to do is challenge himself. But nonetheless, you acquired a belt without fighting. Okay? By your own admission and your rule of standards in which you cast upon Teofimo Lopez, that means you are not a real champion. Just like Teofimo Lopez to you is not a real undisputed champion. So you have to make your mind up. You're either going to respect his position, you know what I'm saying, or acknowledge the fact that you yourself are a product of what you say he is. You are somebody who is not, quote unquote, legit because you did not beat the man to get the belt. Just like you're saying that Teofimo Lopez can't be undisputed because he didn't beat you to get the belt. But you didn't win the belt off of nobody. So you required the belt emailish, which by his own admission and which by his own set of rules and standards is illegitimate. So basically, in a nutshell, what I'm saying is, if you want to try to discredit Teofimo Lopez Undisputed, then you rightfully have to discredit yourself. That's why I said he needs to tread lightly on what he says. Because if Teofimo Lopez is not really the champion, because he didn't fight you, you have to understand that you can't be the real full champion because you didn't fight who he beat. So you are in the same situation. So if you try to knock his position, automatically you're knocking yours. And the reason why Teofimo Lopez is more legitimate, because he actually beat the guy you were supposed to beat to get that belt. Them is facts. So truthfully, Teofimo Lopez is more in his right to call himself undisputed than Devin Haney is to call himself full champions. Them is facts. I can't break it down no more simpler than that. All right? And most importantly, let me talk about the franchise champion. As long as these two are talking about fighting each other, it doesn't matter about the franchise champion. We just don't want franchise champion to be ducking shit. But if the franchise champion, which I guess now is Teofimo Lopez, if he's saying I will fight him, then there's no reason, at least for me, to worry or complain about franchise champion. Because the main theme of the day is you're ducking people. If the franchise champion is willing to take on the challenges that other franchise champions use their position to duck, then no harm, no foul. He could be franchised all day, as long as you don't move like a franchise champion, as long as you don't duck your mandatories, as long as you don't use franchise champion for what it's really for. So as long as Teofimo Lopez is still talking about fighting the Devin Haney, I don't care if he's franchised. Now, if he's franchised and he's not talking about fighting the Devin Haney, then that's a problem. I don't like franchise as it is, but nonetheless, if the franchise champion is going to take on all challenges, then I don't give a fuck if he's franchise champion. But as far as the Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez thing goes, that's the best way to break it down. So, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney needs to respect Teofimo Lopez's position if he wants people to respect him as champion, because they came about it in the same way, but Teofimo Lopez is more legit. That's the truth. He's more legit because he beat the man you were supposed to beat to get the belt that you got. Okay? It's not his fault, just like it's not your fault that Vasily Lomachenko chose to duck Devin Haney and give him his belt. That's not his fault. But then again, that's the same reason why I said I don't want Devin Haney to take that belt, because now Devin Haney is forever working in the deficit. He's forever trying to prove himself that he actually earned that belt. And truthfully, you didn't earn the belt, man. That's just the truth. You didn't earn the belt. You were given the belt. You were given a belt. I would never, as a first-time champion, I don't want to be given nothing. But then again, that's just me. I can't tell them how to operate on there. But nonetheless, as long as these two guys are talking about fighting each other, then none of that stuff matters. You know, these two guys can clear it up on their own. So what I'm saying is, they don't need to go at each other. Go at the WBC, because they're the one that's fucking shit up. But with that being said, let me end it with this. At the end of the day, when all this is over with, people needs to stop regarding the WBC belt as something prestigious. We need to chuck this belt. After, I guess, these guys do whatever they do, and after Errol Spence do whatever he do, we need to obsolete the WBC belt because it's holding shit up. I'm going to look at anybody who's holding the WBC belt as almost a franchise fictitious champion, because it's no lie that WBC will finagle and flip high drug tests, ignore scorecards, ignore cheating in the locker room. They will do all that for their champions who they choose. So people don't need to be trying to fight for an organization that has these poor fucking standards, because you know what it's saying? Anybody can become a WBC champion, especially if you favored. So that's why we need to chuck that belt. That belt is no good no more. That's why Inoue was like, fuck that belt. I don't want that shit, because they know. Because where he come from, Japan and all that shit, honor is everything. And they know that belt don't got no honor. So after people done doing what they doing and doing their undisputed quest, we need to chuck the WBC. We don't need it. If you hold that belt, I look at that as one of the lowest quality belts out right now. I don't give a fuck about the WBC. You know, I don't. But as far as those two guys, I think that's the way they should look at it. And as long as they're willing to set up and fight each other, it don't matter what the WBC say, because real boxing fans are keeping score. Real boxing fans know who's really undisputed. Real boxing fans know who really is the champ. Real boxing fans know who's ducking who. Real boxing fans know all that shit. You know? So at the end of the day, truthfully, you only got to appeal to us. We the new wave. You know, and we the one that's going to keep track of this shit, and we the one that's going to keep this shit fair and just. You know, that's why, like I said, the YouTube and the content is one of the best things that could have happened to boxing. You know, because other than that, you guys ain't gonna get no fair shake, and you ain't gonna get no like straight up information. You know, because most of the stuff that I show y'all, somebody outside the world of YouTube, somebody should be showing y'all this and talking about that, but you don't. You only gonna get it from the content creators on YouTube, because as far as boxing goes, we the closest thing to the truth that you ever gonna hear, see, and witness. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it. Bruce Van, I'm out.